Jake Gyllenhaal isn't your typical Hollywood actor. He's unpredictable, intense, and allergic to playing it safe. Whether he's unraveling on screen or grounding a blockbuster, every role feels like a deliberate step into discomfort. So let's run it back. This is how Jake Gyllenhaal built one of the most fearless and unpredictable careers in modern film. It began in 1999 with October Sky. Gyllenhaal played Homer Hickam, a West Virginia teen who falls in love with rocketry against the backdrop of coal mining and Cold War anxiety. The film made $34 million on a $25 million budget. Modestly successful, but critically adored. Although Jake's salary wasn't disclosed, it's not difficult to guess it's much lower than what he charges today. Donnie Darko 2001 flopped in theaters, just $7.5 million worldwide, but became a cult legend on DVD. Gyllenhaal earned about $500,000 for his iconic role. Right after the darkness of Donnie Darko, Gyllenhaal did a complete 180, jumping into absurd comedy with Bubble Boy. The film was a box office dud, making just $5 million on a $13 million budget. Gyllenhaal took home around $250,000. Wild fact, he improvised much of his performance, turning what could have been a disaster into a cult comedy over time. The Good Girl 2002 made a modest $17 million on an $8 million budget. Jake earned roughly $500,000, holding his own next to Jennifer Aniston. Fun fact, Aniston herself pushed for Jake's casting. After indie intimacy, Gyllenhaal jumped straight into blockbuster territory. The Day After Tomorrow 2004 is a massive global hit, raking in $552 million worldwide on a $125 million budget. Jake's first big payday, reportedly around $2 million. Filming involved intense scenes in massive ice sets. But instead of chasing another big payday, he pivoted sharply again. Jarhead 2005, raw, gritty Gulf War drama, made $97 million against a $72 million budget. Jake's paycheck was around $3 million. Crazy fact, he chipped his tooth on purpose for authenticity. Proof 2005, which was a quiet drama, earned just $14 million worldwide on a $20 million budget. Jake's salary was around $1 million. He spent weeks studying advanced math to authentically play a mathematician opposite Anthony Hopkins. Then came the role that defined him for good. Brokeback Mountain 2005 was a cultural landmark, earning $178 million globally from just $14 million budget. Jake earned $3 million and his first Oscar nomination. Off-camera fact, he and Heath Ledger bonded by roughing it on set in cowboy boot camps. After the spotlight of award season, Jake chose another cerebral challenge. Zodiac 2007 earned a modest $84 million on a $65 million budget. Jake's salary was around $3 million. Fun fact, David Fincher famously demanded over 70 takes for a single scene. Jake called it the hardest shoot of his career. 2 years later, he dialed down the intensity but kept the emotion high. Brothers 2009 pulled in $43 million globally on a $26 million budget. Jake made around $2 million. Notable behind-the-scenes moment, Jake improvised key emotional scenes to enhance realism. But Hollywood called again with a huge franchise gamble. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time 2010 cost $200 million, made $336 million, a disappointment by blockbuster standards. Jake got his biggest paycheck yet, around $10 million. Later, he openly admitted he regretted the role, saying it shifted his priorities. Then came Love and Other Drugs, a romantic dramedy that hit $103 million worldwide from a $30 million budget. Gyllenhaal earned about $4 million, reuniting with Anne Hathaway. Behind-the-scenes fact, he shadowed real pharmaceutical reps, mastering their pitch techniques. Source Code 2011 was a surprise hit. grossed $147 million from just a $32 million budget. Jake earned around $4 million. Behind-the-scenes twist, Jake insisted on subtle script tweaks to enhance emotional depth. Next, he plunged deep into gritty realism. End of Watch 2012 was a critical success, earning $55 million from a tiny $7 million budget. Jake's salary was just $500K, but he trained intensely for months with real LAPD officers, filming in dangerous areas without security. And then came Enemy 2013. Art house thriller pulled just $3.5 million at the box office, but became a beloved mindbender. Jake earned roughly $1 million playing dual roles, reportedly finding the shoot emotionally exhausting as he navigated the two identities. In Prisoners 2013, Gyllenhaal took on the role of Detective Loki, a quiet, twitchy, heavily tattooed investigator unraveling the kidnapping of two young girls. Acting opposite Hugh Jackman, Gyllenhaal delivered a performance full of quiet tension and moral ambiguity. The film made $122 million worldwide, and critics praised it as one of the most gripping thrillers of the decade. Nightcrawler 2014 has made $50 million on an $8 million budget. Critical hit, cult favorite. Gyllenhaal dropped 30 pounds and earned about $2 million for playing Lou Bloom, a twisted crime videographer. Got a Golden Globe nom, but no Oscar. Still one of the biggest snubs of his career. Then came Everest, a movie that climbed to $203 million worldwide on a $55 million budget. Gyllenhaal earned around $2 million for his role as guide Scott Fisher. The cast filmed in freezing conditions at high altitude, and Jake described it as one of the most physically demanding shoots of his career. Demolition 2015 pulled in just $4.2 million worldwide on a $10 million budget. Box office flop, cult favorite. Gyllenhaal earned about $3 million to play a grieving widower, tearing his life apart. He reportedly stayed in character for weeks and improvised the emotional breakdown scenes. He kept the intensity going with Southpaw 2015, where he transformed physically again, this time bulking up with brutal boxing training to play a broken fighter, clawing his way back to redemption. While the film itself was formulaic, Gyllenhaal's dedication and physicality elevated it, and the performance became another career talking point. Then came Nocturnal Animals 2016, a dual-role drama where Gyllenhaal played both a novelist and the fictional version of his character inside the story. The result was layered, dark, and surreal. The film, directed by Tom Ford, was visually stunning and emotionally brutal. Another reminder that Gyllenhaal thrives in psychological complexity. In Stronger 2017, he portrayed Jeff Bauman, a Boston Marathon bombing survivor who loses his legs and becomes a reluctant symbol of resilience. The performance was raw, unflinching, and deeply human. It didn't make much money, but critics hailed it as one of Gyllenhaal's most compassionate roles. Okja 2017 was premiered on Netflix. No box office numbers, but widely streamed and critically acclaimed. Gyllenhaal earned about $1.5 million for playing an unhinged TV zoologist. Fans were shocked by his over-the-top performance. Jake said he intentionally pushed the role to the edge to match Bong Joon-ho's bizarre tone. He returned to blockbusters with Spider-Man: Far From Home 2019 as Mysterio, a master manipulator who bends reality itself. It was fun, theatrical, and showed that even in the MCU, Gyllenhaal couldn't help but bring complexity to a villain. The movie made $1.13 billion globally. Finally, The Guilty 2021. Shot during the pandemic, the entire film took place in a 911 call center, with Gyllenhaal on screen the entire time. It was minimalist, pressure-cooked drama, and he carried it with just a headset, a phone, and a breakdown. Audiences couldn't look away. What's your favorite Gyllenhaal role? Drop it in the comments and let us know who should get the spotlight next.